Welcome to Free Meditation TV. My name is Andrew and this is Oksana.
Good evening. Today we will talk about the second center within us. It's called Swadisthan Chakra.
Let's take a look at our chakra chart, and you'll notice on our centers that last week we talked about the red chakra, the first chakra at the base of the spine. Just above the red chakra is the white triangle, which we call Kundalini, the energy within. And now today we're going to talk about the qualities of the yellow center, the Swadhisthana chakra.
The center is located at the level of our aortic plexus, and it takes care of all our abdominal organs. On our hands, the center could be felt on our thumbs, our left and right thumb. And if we feel any tingling sensations, any burning sensations, it indicates to us that there could be problems within the center, that we need to balance it. On our toes, on our feet, we could feel it on our third toe. And if we feel cool and nice on our hands, it means that the center is balanced.
Now let's talk about some of the qualities of the center. And a big quality of the center is the ability to have pure attention. Pure attention means to be able to focus in on the present moment. What are we doing right now? So if we have a task at hand, are we getting it done, or are we procrastinating and thinking of a million other things? And that's why it's so important to meditate, because you can develop this ability to tune out all of those extra thoughts.
So what is attention within us? We could say that Sahaja Yoga or meditation is 99% attention, because if our attention is wobbly, we cannot meditate, we cannot feel our energy, we cannot feel our centers within us. It means that it's always outside, it's always reactive, so we cannot stay in peace, in silence, we cannot put our attention inside. And that's what we will learn in our classes, to work with our attention. Another quality is very important of the center is a creativity within us.
What's so nice is that when you've mastered your attention, you're relaxing, not thinking of all this extra stuff, is your creativity will start to flow. Because the nice thing about creativity is that you're just enjoying something without a purpose. Maybe you're just wanting to pick up a guitar and learning how to strum 3 chords. Maybe you're learning how to cook. Maybe you're learning your first piano lessons. And you're just doing that for its own sake, to feel your spirit inside, to do something fun. And this is all hand in hand with the Swadhisthana chakra.
Another quality of this center, it's called pure knowledge. In our world, nothing is absolute. What is the truth? Something could be true for one person, could be untrue for another person. Somebody thinks this is good knowledge, somebody thinks it's nonsense. But the pure knowledge of the center is very important, because that's the knowledge that the energy Kundalini gives to us. So if we sit like that and we could feel cool sensations in our hands, that would be indicative that knowledge is coming from our spirit. This is the quality of the center, pure knowledge.
Let's now listen to the knowledge of the founder of our show, which is Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. She has been teaching us these meditations since 1970 in over 100 countries worldwide. She has all of the spiritual knowledge, and a lot of this spiritual knowledge comes from experimenting with truth. When she was a young girl, she stayed with Gandhi in his ashram, and meditation is that experiment with truth. Truth is what it is, and it can be felt in the body. So if you're feeling the coolness in your hands, you know that what we're saying is tangible. There is something there. If you haven't felt anything yet, don't worry. You don't have to believe what we're saying on our show. And that's the nice thing that Oksana and I, if I can speak for Oksana, both really enjoyed about Sahaja Yoga. It has to be proven to you. There's so many things we could tell, and there's so many people with different perceptions or different ways of explaining things. But truth is as it is. And it's something that you can feel when your attention is on your spirit. Let's watch now Shri Mataji's video on the Swadhisthana chakra.
So this transformation takes place as this Kundalini rises in our centers. So the first center, according to real, where the Kundalini enters, is the second one which you see as the yellow one. Now this is the center which is responsible for our creativity. I have seen many artists in India who are extremely anxious to play before me. And once they have played before me or twice, they become world's famous artists. So many of them will tell you about it. Now, so they want to take my photograph and put it there to show to people that I am their guru. I said, nothing doing. I am not your guru, I have not taught you music. Only thing is, your Kundalini has risen. I have nothing to do with it. You had your technique with you. Only thing, because your Kundalini has risen, you have become so dynamic and you are expressing yourself without any fear, without any inhibition. Simple thing as that. But this center we use too much, especially in the West, when we think too much. And when we think too much, we use the energy of this center because this center is responsible for converting fat cells into grey cells for the use of the brain. So when you think too much, then it gets entangled or it gets busy with this only one function, while it has to do many other functions. Like it has to look after your liver, it has to look after your pancreas, it has to look after your spleen, it has to look after your intestines, and also your kidneys. So a person who thinks too much, plans too much, who is futuristic, such a person gets a bad liver. And when you get a bad liver, means an overactive liver, the function of liver is to absorb the heat, which is a poison within us, and to release it into the bloodstream becomes impossible. So the heat starts rising. Your lungs collapse with the heat, you get asthma. It rises higher, you might get a massive heart attack. It goes low down, then you get constipation. It can coagulate your kidneys, you get your kidney trouble, you cannot pass urine. Only one liver can bring all these problems to you. Now the second thing that is affected by overthinking is your pancreas, by which you get diabetes. Now in India, in the village if you go, even in Nepal, they take sugar as much that the spoon must stand at right angle. So much sugar they must take. They never get diabetes. Never. They don't know what diabetes is. Because they work the whole day, in the night they sleep off. Again next day they get up, work the whole day. They don't think. Same with their wives, they also don't think, because same way they work in the daytime and sleep in the night. But too much spare time when we start thinking. They do not future plan so much. Whatever comes their way, they arrange it, organize it, and live with it. So this diabetes is a special disease of the people who are planners, who are futuristic, who think too much, and who worry too much. And it's a vicious circle. Once you get diabetes, you worry too much. So you get more diabetes. Then comes the third disease, which is much more dangerous and very common in America. Comes from the spleen. Spleen also is to be looked after by the same center, which we call as Swadisthan. Now, the spleen part, the role of spleen in our body is very important because it keeps our rhythm. It's for the rhythm of the body, rhythm with the nature. Now, our life is so hectic. Now, it has to produce red blood corpuscles according to certain rhythm. But we have no rhythm. Any emergency that comes in, it has to produce red blood corpuscles. But since early in the morning we read the newspaper, this is the worst curse, I think, for spleen. So you get a shock. so many killed. I mean, they will never give a good news, never, out of question, because they have to give sensations to you, see, shocks. So they'll give horrible news by which your spleen will start pulsating, giving you more RBCs. Then you get into your car without taking your breakfast. Breakfast is in your hand, you are eating something, driving, because you are getting late. We are time bound. On the way, we find all the road jammed. Then we get again upset, how are we to reach? Then we go to the office, we are slightly late, then the boss is shouting at you and you are in a mess. All these things build up a tension, as we call it, but it's nothing but ordinary, unrhythmic, hectic life of our that gives us. Actually, the life should be such that you start your office at 11 o'clock, better is. And you sit down with your wife, have your food in a rhythmic way. And in the daytime, you must have siesta. If Americans have their siesta in the daytime, all their tensions will disappear. Because in the daytime, all the deities sleep. All the deities who are on the centers, they sleep. So if you can have a siesta, even for half an hour, I tell you, your tensions will disappear. On the contrary, the pressure mounts on with the work. This is to be done, that is to be done, you rush. I mean, the Americans never used to speak so fast, I tell you. Nowadays, you can't follow any news, you can't follow what they speak. I mean, it's impossible. Because the words go like telescope into one each other. And the whole life is so made that you feel that they are all under some sort of a earthquake shock or something. Everybody is running helter-skelter, this, that. You go to a shop, you go. Really, if you see, everybody is having a rat race. On the road, anywhere. This is the curse of the modern times, but also the blessing of modern times is Sahaja Yoga. That's why there is. Because all these problems have come up. That is why now we have this blessing of Sahaja Yoga also. So what happens that when this poor spleen becomes unrhythmic and crazy, then any shock from the left side can manifest a very serious disease called as blood cancer. Now this blood cancer has been definitely cured by your Kundalini awakening. I don't cure, because if I say that, the government will arrest me. So I would say your Kundalini cures this blood cancer. And there are many who have been cured of blood cancer. Then the third problem is of high blood pressure. Comes from the kidney. The kidney also coagulates. To begin with, it is in such a small dimension that you don't feel it, but because of that, the pressure rises. Then it stops functioning because it coagulates. This also is absolutely curable through the awakening of your Kundalini. Then the last is the constipation. I mean, I have seen in Switzerland, people eat something that we give it to buffaloes in India. I mean, we cannot think of eating that. I was shocked. I said, how can you eat these cotton seeds? He said, that's very good for roughage. But I said, what this roughage? Tomorrow you'll start eating wood or what? Why do you need so much roughage? Because of this problem. So nothing seems to be normal for people who think too much. And the another side is where they don't think at all, absolutely lethargic organs also. So there are two types of human beings, one on the right side, one on the left side. Those who are sitting and crying and weeping about their past, I had a very nice time and now it's horrid, I had very good parents and now a horrid husband, sort of thing goes on and on and on. At that time they become left-sided. So we have two types of people, one who are thinking of the future and those who are thinking of the past.
And now let's go into meditation. We'll have some music. You sit straight, put your hands like that, and with your right hand, just put it 3 times like that, like letting your energy go up a little. 3 times. And check if it's on the top of your head, if you could feel cool. Keep attention there on the top of your head. And let's listen to the music. Try not to think. Hello, welcome back. And now we will answer some of the questions you. Do we have any questions?
Yes, there is one question. Who is the woman that speaks after the lesson, after your instruction?
Very good question. This is our founder, Shri Mataji. She started Sahaja Yoga, and the idea is to get the yoga to everybody and to start the yoga with awakening of energy kundalini. So when you listen to Shri Mataji, even if you don't understand something, your kundalini is activated. So when you just watch, try to watch in thoughtless, no thoughts, then you would be surprised you'll jump into the state of thoughtless awareness. Do we have any other questions?
Yes, Anna asks, how can I clear the center?
Which center?
We'll start about Swadisthan probably.
Oh,
Yeah, very good question. Want to answer it?
that's a good question. How do we clear the Swadhisthana chakra? Sure, I can take a
we
crack
could-
at it.
Yeah, do you want to demonstrate the ice pack? This is if you cannot stop thinking. If you cannot stop thinking, this is your best bet. Just put ice pack on your liver when you meditate. Then no thoughts will bother you. We have even a little pouch here, so you could put ice pack like that and tie it around yourself and meditate. That's about the Swadhisthana, because when you are creative, you might think too much.
If you're thinking and planning a lot, then the ice on the liver really cools it off. And when it's cooling off, those thoughts, they just don't bombard you so fast.
I sometimes feel pain in the left thumb. What does that mean and what do I do to fix that?
Okay, left thumb, as we spoke before, indicates that we have some problem in our left Swadhisthana chakra. So if right side is when we think too much, we plan too much, so we need a little liver, a little ice pack on our liver. On our left side, it means that we probably read too much, many books, we went to different gurus, and all this knowledge is showing in our left Swadhisthana. So how to fix it? Very simple thing is called foot soaking. So we get a little bucket of water, put our feet in the water, and just meditate like that or stay like that, not more than 5 minutes. If you do that in the evening, you will sleep like a baby.
Anna asks, what is the pure knowledge and pure desire? How can I distinguish pure desire from impure desire?
Oh, that's an easy question.
Go ahead.
Pure desire is something that satisfies your spirit, and our spirit is beyond our likes, it's beyond our dislikes, it's beyond temporary feelings of the time. If something is eternal, if something is good and true for everyone, then that's something that is pure desire. So the pure knowledge then, and we talked about that, Oksana talked about it, is that when we're thinking, we tend to think for entertainment and to get excited by things or just to keep busy, like, you know, how we read the news. And we read the news just to get entertained, and we get little shocks, and we feel all this excitement about reading the news. But at the end of the day, that's not helping our spiritual nature. And what I mean by that is the spiritual nature is stuff that anybody could enjoy that isn't fantastic or exciting, but something that calms us down and we enjoy.
And it's a very practical way to know whether your desire is pure or impure. It uses vibrations. For example, if I want something and I'll do something and do I feel cool in my hands? If I feel cool in my hands, this is the pure desire. So our hands speak to us now, and they help us to navigate this world, because this is what we call vibratory awareness. And we use vibration to help us in this material world.
When we feel relaxed, we feel the cool energy in our hands. When we feel ourselves, when we're not agitated. So once again, you can try right now, Anna, and everyone else who's watching. Put out your hands like this. if you feel a coolness in your thumbs, which was the chakra of today's episode, the Swadisthan, it means that energy is balanced in your lower abdomen. And it means that you're not being bombarded by thoughts, or you're not getting excited to crave all sorts of knowledge from all sorts of places for the sake of entertainment. And when you feel the energy as cool, then you can have that peace inside.
Some more questions? Okay.
Raul asks, how often do I use this ice pack treatment? When do I know to stop and it helped me?
That's a good question. Ideally, when you sit for your meditation in the evening and you start planning, okay, what should I do next week, next month, next year? Probably the right Swadhisthana is an overwork condition. So this is what you put ice pack. And you could stay for 5 minutes, you could stay for 2 minutes. When you feel that your thoughts go down, then you could put it down and just enjoy meditation. There is no hard rule about that, but whatever works, individual.
And whatever works is a big thing that we believe in Sahaja Yoga. Is called you're your own guru. So if you're using an ice pack and you're feeling peaceful, you're not feeling lethargic, or you're not feeling depressed, but you're feeling peaceful, you're feeling relief and good about yourself, you know that it's working. And if it's not working for you, then don't try that treatment. So ultimately, it's up to you, and these are things to try and to use at your discretion.
Josh asks, what exactly do you mean by putting your attention on the top of your head just before you begin meditation?
Okay. Want to answer it? Or I could...
Sure.
Okay.
Well, the energy that's at the base of the spine, Josh, is called Kundalini. It's a dormant energy in every human being. So when this energy awakens, it rises up the spine, as we've talked about, and it pierces the fontanelle bone area. So the reason that we feel it at the top of the head is that, especially when we're meditating to get mental silence, you're just that little bit above your own mind, and your thoughts start to be sucked in by the energy. And when the energy is above your head, you start to slowly feel the coolness, and your thoughts subside. So that is why we put our attention above our head, is so that we can go beyond our thoughts. Because to be honest, if I just say to myself, Andrew, stop thinking, hey, don't think about that anymore, then I might just think more, which actually happened the first time I tried to meditate. But then I realized that if I just feel the energy coming above my head and feel that coolness, my thoughts will spontaneously just start to slow down on their own.
Sometimes very practical what you could, if you feel cool, is it cool there? If you feel cool, then your attention is automatically there in the last chakra. So you could keep your hand like that, or you could put hand back on your lap, but you still feel this coolness on the top of your head or in your hands too. It's the same thing. This is the attention is beyond your mind. Okay, so wrap up.
Well,
Thank
that
you
was a
very
good
much
episode.
for listening. Yeah, thank you very much for listening, and hope to see you next week. All resources, all information you could find in freemeditation.com.
And feel free to watch our other videos. If you're first time watching this video today, episode 1 is a real big experience to raise the Kundalini, to feel the coolness above the head. And freemeditation.com has music to listen to while you meditate, videos, and written information. And not only that, but local classes where you can go and meditate with people and drop in formats in community centers, libraries, all sorts of places, all over the place.
Or you could always tune in, watch us.